Sorry about that, man. Earlier, I had to start this live over. The reception went bad, the connection or something went bad. I got super speed Wi-Fi. I don't know why my connection be slowing down all of a sudden. Uh, I hope it's not because I let people always come over here and ask what's your Wi-Fi. And I'm going to stop giving people my Wi-Fi, man, because there's too many people connected to my device. Too many devices connected to my Wi-Fi around here, and I don't know who's using it. And I'm tired of motherfuckers saying they don't have Wi-Fi. Your fucking only got unlimited minutes on it. But welcome back to the Kickback Network. It's your boy Cutter J, broadcasting live out of Dallas, Texas. What's happening with a guy? We talking about Nolan Wells. Nolan Wells, black male that went on a boating trip with his friends that are white. End up not returning back home with his friends, and they don't even know. Yeah, man. I guess the connection went bad, cut. But we back though, man. We talking about Nolan Wells. You guys ain't tapped into what happened over the 4th of July weekend. Black male Nolan Wells went on a boating trip with his white friends and then returned home with them, and they don't know what happened. Nobody knows what happened. Nobody checked on him to see was he coming home or where was words about was. But what this case has led to, it led to black people saying, "Don't trust white people. Stop being the only black person out when you go out." You know that you have these, so you got these cliques, right? There's always that token black person. You'll be out somewhere, you'll see that one black girl who's hanging out with all the white girls and white boys, and that's who she grew up with. They're because of the neighborhood she grew up in. Those kids that grew up like them, it's hard to tell black kids like that to not hang around their white friends because they grew up with them. Sometimes you see that black kid that's out and he's hanging around a bunch of white guys, white kids, and that's his only way out. He doesn't have that many black friends because he grew up in a certain neighborhood. But that's where it goes wrong at. That's where it goes bad when a lot of black families move their kids out of the hood and move to nicer neighborhoods because they want to go to better schools and have a better upbringing. But at the same time, you're taking your kids from people like them, the culture that they are supposed to be around. Not saying everybody should be in the hood and that hood and ghetto, but I think, every black child should at least have a taste of blackness and hoodness in them. That way they can know how to read certain situations when they're in it. Now, we don't know what happened to Nolan Wells. We're not going to play detective, but we do know this. His friends know what happened. His friends know that they can reach out and say something. Was it foul play? We don't know. I will say this. It's been numerous times that when I was the only black person around. It might have been a bunch of white girls or a couple of white guys and some white girls. I was the only black guy, but never in my life I felt unsafe or I feared for my life because I never was worried about anybody putting their hands on me or doing anything bad to me. They were probably more worried about me doing something bad to them. I woke up bad today, but now I'm in a good mood. So I remember back in the 90s, early 2000s, when you would invite that white friend of yours over to an event or to a party or to the club or some shit like that, and the first thing that white person would say, "Will I be the only white person there?" I used to hear that shit for so long, right? From 1996 to about 2010, probably earlier than that. I used to always hear, "Am I going to be the only white person there?" White people were really worried about them being the only white person at a party or an event because they feel uncomfortable. But I can actually say there never was a time where I felt uncomfortable or worried about me being the only black person somewhere. A white person doesn't even know that they're more safer being around all black people than a black person being around a bunch of white people. And the reason why this is getting out of hand because there's been numerous cases where a black person that went on a camping trip or a road trip or any type of spend the night type of shit, and they go out on this trip with a bunch of people that's not like them, and they end up missing or don't return home. You had Tamala Horson in Alabama, who had a spend the night party with her white friends that she just met. She only been knowing these ladies for 2 weeks. She didn't even know all the women at the party, the stay all night party. But she knew 3 or 4 of them, and she just wanted to get, looking for some friends. She just moved to the city. Neighbors invited her over to a spend the night party for women. And the next day she's found dead in the backyard, and nobody knows what happened. Nobody knows what happened. Gracias, nobody knows what happened to him. This is the whole only people who know what happened to him, what's up, Tammy, are his friends that was on the boat. Never mind the trolls on here, guys. They can overlook the fact of the black man, came up missing and was drowned and was around his white buddies, and nobody had nothing to say. So never mind the trolls. They're not going to tend to the topic because they know some bullshit. Most of them might be too young to even understand what's going on in this world. But I'm going to say it like this, man. If you go out on a trip, man, if you go out on a trip, any kind of event, function, whatever, look around you and see who's like you. Look around and see who you're going with and ask yourself, is this person like me? Do they think like me? If this was to go down, would they be down with me, or will they play me out on this? You got to ask yourself these things. Now, I didn't want to bring this up. I got a homeboy and a homegirl whose son went out on a camping trip with his friends back in Louisiana a few years ago. And they were playing around, and one of the guys pushed him in the water, not knowing he knew how to swim or not. They sat there and watched this man drown, almost drown, fight for his life. Nobody tried to go out there and save him. There was a couple way on the other end of the shore. They were seeing the shit. The husband, a white husband, jumped in the water, swam out there to go save him, while his white friends sit up there in shock, acting like they don't know what the fuck to do. After they the one that pushed him in the water, knowing he can't swim. Now all of a sudden you got the same situation happen. Now we don't know what happened to Nolan Wells. We don't know if he fell in the water, somebody pushed him in there, did he run off with some female? They only got certain footages of where he was at certain times. But we do know this. Nobody's not playing Columbo or what they do, Perry Mason, trying to find out what's going on with this situation. Nobody's trying to get down to the nitty-gritty on what happened to Nolan Wells. We know one thing, his friends, they got a lifetime bond relationship right now because they got a secret that they hold together that they can't break. So they got to be tight and cool with each other for the rest of their life now because they got a secret that they only know about. And it can't be broken. So they all got to stick with each other. They know what happened. They know what happened. What did it do, Tammy? We talking about Nolan Wells. Let me bring this news back for a minute. You guys didn't catch it.
Authorities in Mississippi have located a body they believe likely belongs to a teen missing since the 4th of July. 18-year-old Nolan Wells was last seen on Horn Island Saturday. The Barrier Island is a popular vacation spot. The local sheriff's office says Wells was there with friends for the holiday when he was reported missing. ABC's Alex Perez is following this case for us. And Alex, great to see you. What's the latest with this?
Yeah, Stephanie, officials unfortunately say it appears we're dealing with a tragic ending in this case after beloved 18-year-old Nolan Wells disappeared July 4th after going on a boating trip with friends. Now, sadly, officials say a body matching the description of the 18-year-old was recovered about 8:45 this morning just off the shore of Horn Island, a popular holiday destination about 10 miles off the Mississippi Gulf Coast. Now, the teen and friends reportedly took a boat trip to the Barrier Island for the 4th of July holiday. He was last seen on Saturday at about 3 p.m. After he vanished, his family and friends making an emotional plea for help, flooding social media with pictures of the outing showing Wells and a group of friends on a boat. The 18-year-old seen holding what appears to be a hard alcohol seltzer in his hand. The Jackson County Sheriff's Department, the Cajun Navy, and many volunteers spending much of the weekend searching for Wells. It remains unclear what exactly happened to him. Authorities say they are still working to figure out what exactly went wrong here as his community now grieves. Stephanie?
This is so tragic. Our hearts are with his family. Alex, thank you very much.
The last time they seen this guy, how many times you guys went somewhere with your friends and y'all decide to leave and you don't make sure everybody's together or everybody's left? Nobody, have you reached out to such and such? Has anyone seen anybody? Have you seen Tim? Have you seen Jeff? How many times you guys do that when you go out and hang out with your friends? You let them know you're leaving before you leave. You let them know where you're leaving to, who you're leaving with. How many of you guys do that? How many of you guys, when you leave and when everybody decides to leave, y'all make sure everybody's around? Sharon Haywood said it breaks my heart. I'm going to leave this podcast, but I'm going to give you a thumbs up for telling African American children to be aware of that. All right, there, Sharon. All right, there, Sharon Haywood. Appreciate you tapping in. It breaks my heart. I cannot see this. But yeah, Sharon, I hate this is a topic that I hate to talk about as well. I hate hearing about things like this. There was another situation that took place back in 2018 in Alabama with a lady named Tamala Horford or Horston, something like that. Anyway, she was invited to a sleepover by her the new neighborhood she moved in. She just met these women. She know the lady through her kids playing football with the other lady's kids, and she was invited to a sleepover, all women sleepover for a 44th birthday, and she just so happened to be the only black woman. The next day, she's found dead in the backyard, and nobody knew what happened. Nobody wasn't paying attention to what was going on, or how did it happen, or what it led to. Was the drinking involved? Nobody knows any of that. But it's crazy how people know anything else. But let's just get back to Nolan Wells. You would think the detectives would be trying to get down to the nitty gritty on what took place to this situation that happened. It seemed like the fact that it's a black male, that they don't try to reach hard into the case of what's going on that took place. If it was a little white girl, or it was a white boy, we definitely know if it was a little white girl, that they'll be taking heed to trying to find and clear this case on what happened with this little white girl, the white guy. The fact that it's a young black teenage guy, they're not even trying to put their foot into what's going on. They're not interrogating these teenagers. He went into his friends. Now I know the parents are taking this hard, and maybe his friends are taking it hard, but they should be getting set down for question. Whatever girl that he was with on that picture that y'all say y'all seen him with, they need to be talking to her. Former police here. Most cases you see on the news is because of some racial profiling. Whether it's racial profiling or not, man, whether it's racial profiling or not, it kind of makes I got a son. I got a son that's mixed, right? I got 2 daughters. They black. I know my son hangs around different. His friends are different. They Mexican. One's Puerto Rican. He probably has a black friend, and he probably has a white friend. But I'm worried about my son probably being that kid that that hangs around majority of white kids or non-black kids like him, and they try to pull some strings on him. Now I feel like I gotta teach my son, be careful who you hang around, son. Not only I gotta tell him about the black hood niggas that he's gonna probably go. Not only I gotta tell him, say, man, be careful who you hang out with, son. It ain't even just the hood dudes no more, the gangbangers and trappers and slangers from the hood no more. Now I gotta tell my son to be careful with even the white boys too. Because even though they might don't do crime and do bad shit, they don't care about it. They will leave you for dead. They will leave you for dead. And they're like nothing happened. So now I feel like I gotta teach my son, not only you gotta worry about these niggas in the streets and in the hood, you gotta worry about these motherfuckers in the suburbs too. Cause it seems like we have more cases that are put out there that are showing that this don't add up right. I know y'all heard about the Tamala Horton situation that took place in Alabama years ago. And she was an elderly black lady. This lady was in her 40s. And somehow, she's with these other 40-year-old women. And this thing, she's dead in the backyard and nobody knows nothing. And I'm pretty sure to this day, you still got white people that will question you, are they going to be the only black people at this event? Just because they still terrified by some people ain't never been around no black people. They just terrified by black people anyway. They just terrified based off what they see on TV, what they hear on the radio, and everything else. So they think all black people are the same. Like I can say all white people ain't the same, but I know you gotta watch yourself. You gotta know how people are anyway, and you gotta make sure people don't play with you. You gotta set the boundaries with these people, man. And whoever you're around, whether they white or black, you gotta let these people know, don't fuck with me, don't play with me. Yeah, I'm racist. I'm racist. I'm racist. You right. Yeah, whatever you want to say. My thing is, why nobody know about what happened to Nolan Wells? Why they not investigating, asking, questioning the kids, his friends on what happened? If there was the other way around, they'd be knocking on every black kid door right now. What happened to David? What was the last time you talked to David? They be knocking on every black kid door right now that was with David. If it was David, the white boy that drowned and found dead. Or if it was Amber, the white girl, found dead, and she was on her black homegirls. They'll be knocking on Tamika, Keisha, all of them door right now, trying to find questions, answers. Trinidad in the building. And I know some of you white people that come in and watch this channel. I know some of y'all, y'all don't like these type of topics when they come up, but that's what happened, guys. Y'all too bad. Y'all always y'all like to run away from shit like this and don't like to face the fact on what it really is. You can't tell me when it's people ego and their personality change when they're more dominant. Like, for example, I know you put a Mexican dude around a bunch of black people, he gonna be cool and try to try to act like them. As soon as you get around all these Mexican people and you the only black person around, they try to act funny with you. Or try to act like they got a whole certain type of way they act with you. The thing is, I hate to say it, man, but the narrative been going around, man, is if you the only one around that's going on that trip that look like you, don't go. Don't go. I would feel suspicious if I was the only male on the trip. It could be a bunch of females. I go on a trip with a bunch of females, I'm gonna be suspicious about why the fuck I'm on this trip. Same thing I'll be if I go on a trip or do anything with I'm the only black guy, and I made that decision, 9 times out of 10, I know I'm aware of who the white people who I went on the trip with. And I know who they are, and they know damn well they ain't gonna fuck with me no any kind of way. Unless I'm asleep. The only way they're gonna have to get me or take me out. But at the same time, I know who I hang around with. Now, keep in mind, Nolan Wells is 18 years old, and what I learned, these 18-year-olds, these 19-year-olds, 17-year-olds, their mind is not completely developed yet where they make wise decisions or make any type of decision that's going to benefit them. I used to go crazy talking to I was dating this lady. She had teenagers. And I used to go crazy telling the teenagers the same shit over and over again. And I know he hear me and I know he know better, but why he don't do better? With Nolan Wells, who knows what happened to him? He probably, tried to show out in front of his girl and do some cool shit for the girl and end up, getting, swept off by the waves. That could have happened. But somebody knows something, and the police need to be talking to them who people are. If they ain't talking to them already, they need to know who they should be talking to them. They should be on their way to those people's house right now to talk to whoever was with Nolan Wells on that boating trip. And whoever that female Nolan Wells was with out on that beach, they should have been to her house first. Of course, we all William. Of course, I love. If it was the only female trip and I'm the only guy, of course I would love it. But somewhere in my head would be like, why? What? It'd be suspicious. Why I'm the only guy here? Are they going to sacrifice me? What's going on? Something ain't right. Is something behind this trip? It'd be questions in my head. It'd be questions I ask myself, what's going on? It might be cool and fun, but it'd be questions going on in my head. Somebody said it's the parents' fault. I wouldn't even blame them on the parents. I won't even blame it on. You can't blame nothing like this on the family, man. I mean, you're gonna say that, then you're gonna blame it on the family. I guess you're gonna blame the family. You're gonna blame Nolan Wells' family for moving to a suburban neighborhood where he's predominantly around white kids and not around any black kids that have black friends. And just so happened, the fact that he's around a bunch of white friends, he ended up drowning because he's black kid. You can't. The parents don't think like that. All they thinking about, they got a nice house in a nice neighborhood with a good job. The kids get to go to a new school, good school, better school, and he's gonna be around not diversity, but he's gonna be around less crime. There ain't gonna be no crime going on with it. That's the only thing parents think about. They're not thinking about the disconnection they have with the black culture. You give your kids you put your kids in a disconnection with the black culture, and when it's time to be around black people or recognize what black goes on in the hood of black shit, they're gonna be oblivious. Just because it was taken away from them. See, me, I was raised in the hood, but I've been around enough white people, and I learned so much being around white people. Where I know how to talk and be around black people. White people. I know who to pick to be cool. I know who cool and who ain't cool. I know who vibe with me and who I don't vibe with. I don't want to use that narrative, man. Stop being the only black person around. Because there's things that go on when there's nothing but just black people around. There's times there's been nothing but black people at the trip and something happened. The girl that had one on a trip to Mexico to Cabo, she took her friends to Cabo, Mexico on a trip, and she paid for the trip. She took all her friends on a trip to Cabo, Mexico that she paid for, and they took over there, they beat her to death. They all flew back to North Carolina like nothing happened. And these are all black friends. Nobody didn't big that situation up. Know why? Because it was all black friends. Now let the friends would have been white. the storyline would have been the heavier. If she was white and her friends was black, the storyline would have been heavier. The fact that she was black and her black friends left her over there in Mexico, the shit swept up under the rug. I did a show about it. I did 2 shows about it. Those kids came back to North Carolina, didn't say nothing. They lied to the parents. One moved to New York, one moved to another spot upstate somewhere, changed their name, and the police let it go. This ain't just one case. It's a bunch of cases like this where friends go out on a trip with other friends and somebody don't come back home. The fact that Nolan Wells was a black male and his friends was white boys and he didn't come back home is the reason why we're talking about this right now. The only reason why we're talking about this right now. This shit wild, man. It's a hard topic to talk about, man. I tell my kids to be careful, man. Don't do nothing for your friends that you know they won't do for you. Even if they would do it for you, if you gotta think twice about something or get pushed up and boosted up to do something, evidently it's not cool to do. If somebody boosting you up to do something, and you got to think twice about doing it, or you got to think twice about doing it, however the case, you shouldn't be doing it. It got to be a thing that's not cool to do. Like I be telling you, like my son, he got in trouble for cursing in school, saying a curse word. But reason why he got in trouble because his classmates boosted him up to say it and do it. He thought he was, to prove a point to them and feel like he's a cool guy. He got in trouble for trying to, satisfy them. So I teach my kids, if your kids, your friends, dare you to do something that they wouldn't do and try to push you to do it, don't do it. Because evidently it's not good because they ain't doing it. And you're going to be the statistic on the situation because you did it. Don't be the guinea pig. You know what? I ain't never experienced racism. Like I ain't never had nobody, no white person push up on me or with racism. I ain't never had nobody accuse me or I never been in a situation where racism played a key in a situation where because of my skin. Anything I got in trouble for, it wasn't because of my skin. It's because of what it was. I ain't never had no situation where somebody called me a nigga or I had to defend myself for being black and they was white. I mean, we had to fight with a bunch of white people at school back in high school, the Christmas party, the Christmas dance party at our school. People, they calling it racial because it was a bunch of black guys fighting white guys when it really was behind one of the homies, accidentally bumping into the white dude girlfriend, and she made a big deal out of it. And then it went on from there. But after that right there, it didn't have nothing to do with nobody calling nobody no nigga or nobody calling nobody no cracker. It just were 2 different colors fighting each other. But as far as experience racism, nah. I'm talking about nah. I've been pulled over by police and they let me go. Well, I've been pulled over by police and I ain't never experienced no racism like that. Like I live out here in Dallas, Texas, right? And with my friends and my homeboys, them seeing Shreveport, Louisiana with white people, I don't see out here with white people because the white people who I be around and what's around here are not like the white people that they probably be around. At least unless they don't show it anyway. At least they must. I mean, they don't show. But like I said, I can read people real good. I wouldn't know if you're a racist person pretending not. You're not racist. I can tell when a white person ain't used to being around black people. Just like I can tell when a black person not used to being around white people. I bring some of my homeboys around white people sometimes. They don't even know how they should talk sometimes. They don't know they should change their voice up to proper or just stay hood. So yeah, I know I can see the difference. Hey Tyrell, would you go on a trip if you was the only black guy? Because it's been plenty of times, like I said earlier in this video, there's been plenty of times where I was the only black guy in the car on the trip. Like on my way, we went to Vegas 2009 on a road trip. We drove from Dallas. It was me and two other white couples and the lady I was with, and she was a white girl. I was the only black guy. Now, one time in my mind, I thought about my fucking life being in danger of being unsafe. But I was around some real ones on top of that. And even they knew if they tried me, it wasn't gonna go right. So I never worried about that. I remember times back in the 90s and early 2000s when you asked your white friend to come to an event with you or come to a house party with you or let's go over to somebody, let's go to such and such house. The first thing they would ask themselves or say to you, will I be the only white person there? I know we all experience that. If you got white friends, if you somebody that got white friends, there's a time you ask your white friend to go somewhere with you, and they reply back to you, will I be the only white person there? Anybody that's my age anyway, I don't know how it is with these young folks because it's a little different now. Times are different now. You see a little mix and mingling going on anyway. Back then it was weird seeing, a white dude with a bunch of black or a mixed crowd anyway, or vice versa. Nowadays, depending on where you're living at, it's normal to see, mixed cliques. You might see a guy that's Mexican, white, black, and this in one clique together. Or you might see a bunch of white guys and a black guy, or other way around. You see shit like that now. You might see that it's that white girl that hang out with a bunch of black women. You see that these days. Back then, it wasn't like that. So back then, we always got questioned by our white friends. Will I be the only white person there? Because they was really curious about being only white person there. And you used to have to tell them, hey, you with me, man. Don't worry about what everybody else think or worry about. You with me. And then back then, you had to tell your white friends that way they'll feel safe. How old was I what? How old was I what when? How old was I when, Tyrell? (2009) I think I was about 31, 30. I had to be about 31 or 30 at the time when I had went on that road trip to Vegas. But even in my teenage years, when I first started working at the restaurant as a busboy, I became a server, bartender. And we were hanging around my white co-workers, we used to go hang out the bar after work, or we'll go hang out at somebody's crib after work and smoke. Or they might come to my crib. It was like I never felt, timid around, a crowd of people who wasn't like me. There's times I go to the bar and sit down on the strip down here. You got bars, man, that's diverse. You got some bars that's all black, 1%, 2% other. You got the ones that are mixed, and then the ones that are considered, the non-black. It's a time you might go up in a bar where ain't nothing but white people up in there. You might be the only black person. I still never feel out of place. Some people in there I know real good. They know me. And they know where I stand. And and people who don't really know me, they know of me. So I never worry about being around, being the only black person in the crowd. I don't. I got it. You got change. I got it. I got it. So I go with that one. I get you. Yeah, kind of edge is number two. Don't cut it, man. All right. Hold it down. Stay cool. We all right. Oh, I'm back, guys. Oh, I miss. What to do, Zach? Cuz said I sound like Mike Tyson, man. Get your ass on somebody, though. Come on, sound like Mike Tyson, nigga. Get your bitch ass on somebody, nigga. Your mama sound like Mike Tyson, nigga. Your mama look like Mike Tyson. Fuck wrong with you, Zach. Get your bitch ass off here. That's what I was saying, man. I'd never hang around who you want to hang around with, man. Just make sure you you set some boundaries with the people you're around. That way they won't try to test you, you know what I'm saying? Or feel like they can, do whatever. Damn, man. And like somebody said earlier, you gotta blame it on the parents. No, because it looked like from my vision, it looked like Nolan Wells, his dad was a well put together guy that looked like, he put his work in on parenthood and just, guiding his son to the right path, It makes me feel like I got to give my kids a lecture before. See, back then, y'all remember how our mama was back then? They gave us no matter where we was going, to the movies, park, a party, wherever we was going, my mama gave me and my brother a lecture that we didn't want to hear that shit. We were like, why the fuck she telling us this? But she told us that to instill in our mind to not do any dumb shit. And when she come pick us up from where we at, we there for her to come. We're gonna be there when she come pick us up. Hey, Lisa. Like I don't care how old your kids are, you lecture them and give them a talk before they go anywhere. That way it can be instilled in their mind. I know I can't do no fuck shit on this trip or dumb shit on this trip. Every time I think about doing some dumb shit, it's gonna come to my mind what my mom said to me before we left, and I'm gonna go the other way with it. Like my mom, she gave me a talk every fuck, like she lectured us because she knew what kind of kids she had. And guess what? I made it to 48 years old, guys, for thinking twice about shit. And that's the shit I didn't think about at all and just did it and got away with it. And it's the shit I thought twice about and got caught. My thing is though, them kids need to start. Parents start talking to your kids. Look who their friends are. Like you can tell what type of child you have based off of their friends, who their friends are. You start seeing your kids hang around some hood type of kids. Everything your kids trying to find the hood way. You see your daughter hanging around with little accident chicks. Your daughter trying to be a hoe. You need to be to these kids. You know your son hanging around number white boys. You need to let your son know, hey son, don't do no stupid white boy shit. Don't do no stupid white boy shit. You know how they like to play around and do games and jokes and shit like that? Don't fall in line with it, nigga. That's exactly how I talk to my son and tell him. And see, Lisa, that's what we're talking about right there. You know, these, you know, we like a lot. I see a lot of women, black women anyway, mothers. They speak about this case, right? Saying, black kids should be raised in the black community where they got the same people that way they can relate to their culture. We understand people got these good jobs and they want to go. They move in these nicer neighborhoods and they end up putting their kids in better schools where they're around lesser kids like them where they from, and more white like Frisco. All these schools in like Plano, Frisco, all those schools up that way. Majority white kids, Indians, Mexicans, whoever. You're not gonna find too many black kids. Those kids that go to school up there, parents got good jobs and found they closed in a better house, and that's why they up there. But they still consider outsiders. And here you are meeting new friends, nothing like your cousins that you grew up with, spending the night with. And then you got to gravitate to their culture. They're not gravitating to your culture. They're not trying to be cool like you are. They're not trying to walk like you and know about Martin Luther King or know about the black culture at all. But you doing all you can to learn about them and be like them. Like me, if that was me, I would have had me about 2 or 3 black friends with me. I would have had 3. Like, say homie, y'all want to go to the boat trip? Should be in my homeboys and got a boat, man. Y'all want to come? I would have had to bring about 3 black homeboys with me just to put some type of flavor in this shit. Good job on teaching on Lisa, because my son Ryder, he goes to a school which is probably majority white and Mexican. There's some black kids there. I seen my other daughter Iana. She go to a predominantly white school because it's in a town where it's in a growing town where it's nothing but everything is new out there, big houses. It's a new community. So mostly white people go to that school, and I know she's gonna grow up being, that girl who she's gonna be attached to her culture just because of who her parents are and her household. But like as far as her picking her friends, I'm not surprised if my daughter has 2 or 3 white friends and 2 black friends or whatever the case may be, or 1 Mexican friend, because of her schooling she went to, her neighborhood she lived, who their friends might be. They didn't grow up in a black community like me. My kids, they don't know what the hood is. They know what the hood is, but they don't know what growing up in the hood is. And it's not a bad thing, the fact that they're gonna grow up around different type of people. It's just I feel like not gonna be well grounded when it comes to being around a bunch of black people at one time, because they not used to being around a bunch of black people at one time. I took them back to my neighborhood reunion last year. We went to my neighborhood reunion last year, and they came back. They came up to the park with me, and they never seen that many black people out. You know, they never been around just that many black people at one time. And my kids are black, but one's mixed. Hey, and I'm not saying your kids shouldn't have white friends. I want you to have as many as friends you can have. Just be acknowledgeable about who your friends are and how they move and how they think. I can't tell my kids to not have white friends when they see their daddy. They see their dad have all these people that come up to him and talk to him and shake his hand and give him hugs in different nationalities and different backgrounds. How can I tell my kids to not have no white friends? When they see daddy, he got a white girl to come over here for him, or he got a white homeboy. You got all these white people and these Mexicans or whoever, Iranians or Moroccans, whoever, they see me, they talk good to me. They talk good about me to my kids. So why the hell am I tell my kids don't fuck with them type of people when they see my kids, them see them people praise me? I can't do that. All I can do is tell my kids to be careful. And if you feel like if you feel uncomfortable about doing something, going somewhere, don't do it. And one thing about this Negro right here, and all my Negro kids, we know how to swim. So you can't play the no swimming thing with us. You can push us in the water, we're gonna be flipping with the bitch like a dolphin. We know swim, I've been knowing how to swim since I was 5 years old. My son been knowing how to swim since he was 5 years old. Daughters them know we know how to do this shit. See, when you know too much, they can't really fuck over you. You know what I'm saying? They can't talk to you a certain kind of way because you are already ahead of them. So, and all that shit about black people can't swim and shit, that's some bullshit. That's some bullshit. We the ones that had the swimming pool. You think that they had swimming pools in the fucking projects and then the goddamn. You just can't. Can y'all hear me now? I don't know where y'all lost you guys at, but like I was saying, one more now. You had the girl that went to Mexico. You had the girl that went to Mexico back in 2022, 21, 22. She went to Cabo, Mexico, paid for her friend's trip. She paid for the whole trip for her and her friends to go on. They get over to Cabo. I think my shit need to be charged up. Shit crazy, man. Shit crazy as fuck. Like, you probably missed some important parts. I was saying that, you know, the chick got left in Cabo with her friends after she paid for the trip. They beat her ass, lied to her parents, came back to North Carolina. A couple of them, they flew upstate, changed their name. The police ain't got back to that situation. They swept that shit up under the rug. Tamala Harson went on she decided to go on a sleepover party with her friends that she just met in Alabama. Black lady, go to a sleepover with a bunch of white women. Nolan Xavier Wells, July 4, 2026, boat trip with a bunch of his friends, white. Nobody know what happened? And nobody's getting questioned, it seems like. Let there would have been Amber. Let there would have been Amber. Everybody door would have been getting knocked on. Everybody's door would have been getting knocked on. I'm talking about the number one person to question is the girl that they seen Nolan Wells with at 3 p.m. that day. That photo that they have of Nolan Wells with the girl he was with, that's who should be getting, that's who has all the answers. If she's still alive anyway, right? She has all the answers to what everybody needs to know. Whether Nolan had left her earlier or her and Nolan went here and something took place and all of a sudden this happened. She knows what happened. And somebody telling her to keep her mouth closed and they're protecting her. Because nobody ain't brought her up yet. I'm watching all these vlogs talk about this story that took place with Nolan, and ain't nobody brought up where the girl at that he was with at 3 p.m. Nobody brought that up yet. What it do, Ian? I don't know who you are, but what up? It's sad, man. It's like it's too many. We gotta pray for these kids, man. It's too many. It's too many kids going away, man. In some of the most dumbest ways to go out. Like I don't care about going to no fucking beach, no lake. I don't care about no fucking cruise. Any of that shit, man, that has something to do with it, I can't control. If I have no control of, I don't care about riding on roller coasters. Any of that shit. It might sound exciting. I don't care about skydiving, rock climbing, none of that bullshit. Skiing, surfing, any of that shit. Because I have no control of anything that can go on. When Mother Nature and anything else, something else controlling it besides me, I don't want to fuck with it. With my hand behind the wheel and I'm doing the walking, I got control of what's going on. And I can prevent with anything that can come to happen. Ain't nobody's talking about no fight, man. We're not even talking about fighting on here, man. We don't know where you're going, what you're coming. But we're not talking about no fighting on here, Ian. Just to let you know that, though. We're going to give you one more time, though, to get back on track where we on, though. One more time, though. Like, I don't care about going to no fucking goddamn roller coaster. You can call me chicken all you want to. Any of that shit like that. I don't want to go to no lake. I don't want to go hiking in the woods where there's other animals and creatures that's out there probably can kill me. No. No. Stay doing it. I want to keep it simple. We ain't talking about none of that though, Ian. We ain't talking about kids with guns and fighting and shooting. We talking about kids losing their life behind, like, you know, we talking about, I don't know where you been. We talking about Nolan Wells, man. You know, you got this kid right here, man, who drowned, who drowned. You know, and he was with his friends and nobody know what happened. We got this other lady, man, who got beat up by her homegirls and they left her in Mexico. We got this other grown, all white friends, and you know, it's too many of these stories. And I'm pretty sure y'all go to Google or go to YouTube and type up those type of cases. You're gonna see about 100 different stories of this guy right here, the only black guy, or she the only black girl. These gonna be stories that go all the way back to 1970 something to now. And like it's always them bubbly. It's always the bubbly black girl or the bubbly black guy. Like, you know, the ones that, you know, they so cool and friendly and they speak well and they have no type of hood intention or connection. It always be them kind that be in situations like that and end up getting fucked over. It's never, you notice it's never a nigga from the hood or a black chick from the hood that's with all these white folks and this shit happens. It's always with a motherfucker who's not knee deep, who's not deeply rooted. And I hate this. I'm not shitting on Nolan Wells, but he wasn't. Even his parents wasn't deeply rooted in the hood. They were just some black folks that was from a black community that moved out of that community to the white folks' hood. But his dad and mama ain't even that hood. Even just, you know, for him to even have that in his mentality. So you know he ain't gonna have that hood mentality. But you never see a black guy from the hood or got a hood mentality, or a black chick from the hood that got a hood mentality in these situations with a bunch of white folks. And all because of the decisions they would have made anyway to not get in the situation they in, and the motherfucker ain't gonna play with them. Like it's always the ones that's kind of like, you know, naive, and they overlook the fact of they all not the same. At the end of the day, we're not the same. And white people study black people real well. They know if you, they know that you're not like the other black people, and once they know that you're not like the ones they don't want to be around, they feel like they can talk to you any kind of way, treat you any kind of way, and might get over on you any kind of way. I mean, once they know that you stiff, they ain't gonna take you. They ain't gonna fuck with you. But once they know that you kind of like them, just a different color, they're gonna try to fuck over you. Yeah, it's been times, right? It's been times, you know, where I'll be out with, I probably was out with my white friends or whatever, and the drinking got involved, and uh, a couple conversations, you know, came up where, you know, where you had to stand on they had to stand on what they, how they feel from a white person, and I had to stand on what I feel from a black person. But at the end of the day, we ain't let that shit bother our friendship or how we connect with each other. I want to throw it out there too, guys. Too. I know y'all gonna laugh at me on this one. By the way, how that audio sounds? How does the audio sound? I must say this, guys. I must say this. I work with some beautiful ladies, y'all. I got like, it's about like, I see a different one every day, right? It's about, I think I counted about 20 of them, right? And they all black. I think one's Mexican, the other one, might two of them might be Mexican. One's Mexican, but she's like a white girl because she got blonde hair. You got one, I don't know if she's Mexican or Asian, but the others are black. And two of them are like from like, I think two of them are from either the Virgin Islands or the Bahamas. I don't know. They might be Trinidad. They might be West Indian. Who knows? But yeah, I work with some. I work with some attractive black women, and just all of them who whatever color they are, I don't know, but they. I'm just saying. There's two of them I know they sisters, and I think they from the Virgin Islands or the Bahamas because they got their little accent, but they black women though. And I'm like, man, I work with some bitch. I'm gonna be in shit. But I know what I'm gonna do though, right? I know how to bait them in. I know exactly what I'm gonna do, guys. I know exactly what I'm gonna do. What do I think about Argentina versus Egypt match? I'm not even connected to soccer like that, man. To even tell you who's the best team, who's gonna win, who's gonna lose, who's the best player. But from what I'm hearing, everybody's talking about Argentina and France. But I'm not a soccer guy, man. Thank you, though. Let's get back to subject. Back to what I was saying, yeah. I work with some attractive women. Like a lot of women I work with are from Louisiana. One girl, she's from where I'm from. She's from Shreveport. I met her last night. And a lot of people, a lot of guys from Louisiana. Like I fit in very well with my staff. The place I work at is nice anyway, but the staff that I'm around is a little older than with my other. The last place I was working at, I felt like it was getting younger. They was hiring younger, and it's like this. The way that it's like the young people was like overriding the older people, and the older people was sounding stupid, trying to coach them or manage them on how to do shit right. So it was getting a little young around there, and the same thing, the politics was getting a little heavy too around there. But at my new place, everyone's of age. A lot of my cousins, it's majority black people there, besides the kitchen staff, and that's why I like it. I'm talking about from the cashier to the hostess stand, from the bar to the dining floor, black. And when you walk into this place, it's a nice restaurant, and you see all these beautiful black people waiting on you, you don't expect that. When you walk up in that restaurant, you don't expect it to be, it's in the Galleria Mall. You don't expect it to be that many black people taking care of you, doing a good job at it. Beautiful black women at that, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna go in there tonight at 4 o'clock and see somebody else who I ain't seen in a while, or I ain't never seen. Appreciate the star, appreciate the donation. Lisa, you know I'm full of shit. You know I gotta talk about these women in my job. you know I gotta talk about these women in my job. Man, I'm just happy. It makes me, hey, I got a reason to go to work now. At least I'm not around a bunch of young Hispanic women and making their ass feel like they're the God-given earth. These young, you got these niggas, man, old enough to be these girls' father. And they be trying to take her out on dates and shit. Damn, nigga, you old enough to be her dad, nigga, why you want to take her out? But you got those guys, man, they won't date no woman of age. Now, I'm not going to say their age, but they're not going to date a woman that's of age or on age, shit, I should say. Because they ain't on their shit. I'm going to say it that way. Yeah, you can never, and now the way these young girls are these days, some are very naive. But shit, like some of these young girls that live over here in this neighborhood, shit, they be trying to see how many old men they can juice. Like they had told me, and when my neighbors, they about 27, 28, 25. They even told me like, Cuddy, shit, we gotta give it to you. We just like you said, you ain't one of them old niggas that's gonna trick his money. She said, you still gonna get it how you can't get over on nobody like you. I said, ain't none of my homeboys like that though. I said, we ain't no nigga that's trying to, I said, we ain't no type of nigga that's, you know what I'm saying, that's greedy for no pussy. Or we ain't gonna let no whippersnapper anyway try to juice us. If we gonna spend our money on something, it's gonna be some top-notch shit anyway. There ain't gonna be no motherfucker, no scallywag motherfucker trying to, looking for a come-up anyway. If I spend my money on a woman, she gonna already have her shit together. I ain't gonna trick on no chick that don't got shit to pot the piss in. Hell no. I won't even call it tricking. I just say I'm not gonna do nothing with no lady who won't got nothing to give for me. Hell yeah, if it's this lady I'm fucking with, and she got her life in order and shit, from everywhere, all top to bottom, and we kicking it like that. we got a relationship and we knee deep with each other. Yeah, it ain't nothing for me to out of the blue buy her something, or it's her birthday, go all out for her. Cause I know one thing, she gonna do it for me. And see, Lisa, there's a lot of older women out there that want to protect their assets, but some they kind of get lonely or they just want to just be around. They feel they need to have some type of companionship. They end up letting go or open up a hole to let somebody get inside their lane. I'm attracted to older women, but I know my energy is not a good match for them. I still like to move around a little bit and go out and have fun and be social. You know what I'm saying? I like to be I'm a homebody too. I like to I like to lay in the bed for a day and just watch movies, butt naked. You know what I'm saying? Um, but I like to move around a lot and I like to do things. I like, I don't like to be. I don't want to have to feel like I like to step out whenever I want to. So, and that's what any woman. Now, age don't have nothing to do with that part, but uh, that's probably what a reason why I don't like I don't care about being in a relationship because, like, I feel like I gotta ask for permission to go do something so small. Like, if I just want to go up the street for 15, 20 minutes, I should just leave whatever I want to. Oh, hey, I'll be right back, baby. I'm going here, and that's it. I don't feel like it had to be like, damn, baby girl, she gonna trip if I leave and stay gone too long. I don't like shit like that. Cause I ain't gonna be gone that long. Uh, like my neighbors, it's funny. I gotta share this with you guys. Like my neighbors and like most of all my male neighbors, except my boy from East Texas right here, all my male neighbors, right, they got girlfriends or wives. And over the last 2 weeks, at least 4 of them have told me this. Say, Cuddy, man, I want to come down there and fuck with you, though, man, but it's going to have to be when it's all dudes down there. Because I ain't trying to be in no bullshit and have my shit thrown out there, all this shit. And I'm like, and I thought about it, which is kind of fucked up. All the women around here, they think I have a lot of females. I have too many girls come over here. And they don't want their man or their husband coming down here to hang out with me because it might be some females over here. That's wild. I kind of hate to see that what happened. That's what happened when you've been out of work for 2 months and you got so much time on your hand. And I created a little playground for a little bit, and now all these ladies over here think I have a lot of nothing but females over here. All do because of what they've seen, but not all the time I got girls over here. So yeah, Lisa, like 4 of them, they were playing dominoes the other night, right? I think it was either 4th of July or the night before 4th of July. No, it was the night before 4th of July, my bad. Yeah, it was Friday. It was Friday night. They went out there playing. They was out there playing dominoes. I walked over there, and they were like, say, Cuddy, man, you be doing it up down there, man. I'll come fuck with you, but it gotta be all dudes over there. My wife gonna trip out, and then they all kind of agreed on what he said, and it made it seem like, okay, damn. I guess they all be talking and gathering around many girls over there. Cause I'm always outside grilling and there be chicks and shit around out there with me or whatever. And now I kind of hate that shit though, man. Now I'm gonna stop having company. I'm gonna start going back down to when the chicks come over here, nobody see them when they come and nobody see them when they leave. Hey, hey y'all, them niggas told me, hey man, we gotta come over there when there's nothing but niggas over there because they already look, they thinking them are females. And see, here's the thing, right? See, everybody gotta walk through here, this little path right here in front of my apartment, part of it, to cut through these other apartments to go to the store. See, it's like this little store right here on this other street, on the main street down here, but you can cut through the gate and go across through these other apartments to go behind the store. So everybody that walks to that store or any store over there, they have to cut through my apartment. So everybody that come through not only my apartment complex right here, but even the other apartments on the other side, because there's some other apartments on the other side that's tied in with these apartments. It's just two. It's a phase one, phase two. But everybody got to come walk through here, and I meet a lot of people, and I see a lot of people because I be outside grilling. But everybody that see me, they always see me is by my. It was a time where I was just by myself, or my son to be out there with. But lately, they been saying like been a lot of females out there. I've been, like I said, I've been off a lot. So people been able to see my company come through here a lot more, opposed to how I used to be back in the day. They'd come in at nighttime when nobody ain't out, or when they leave in the morning, nobody ain't up. So now they've been starting to see it a lot. So my neighbors them say they can't come over here, man. And if they do come over here, I'm pretty sure their wife is gonna be, be monitoring everything that's going on, making sure ain't no bitches coming up in here. So yeah, so that's out of the play. Oh hell yeah, man. Yeah, they think I'm a player like a motherfucker. That's why they think I'm a player. They think I'm a player like a motherfucker, man, on everything. I tripped out when they said, and you know what? The two wives was there. Well, two of the niggas' women was there, right? They standing around. So I had looked at their ass, and I say, man. Hey, I never put y'all in no type of trouble with these women right here, man. I said, if y'all over there and we kick it, them bitches are gonna have to turn around or something, I don't know. But I know who they talking about though. But yeah, man, over the last 2 months, they think this the honeycomb hideout. I need to chill out now. I'm so happy I'm back working, y'all. Ain't nobody been knocking on my, well, yeah, they been knocking on the door, but ain't nobody been knocking on my door, popping up, seeing one. They know when they see a white Jeep gone, he ain't at home. I want to stay like that. Appreciate the gifts, Tammy. Righteous. Yeah, that shit. But you know what? That was good to know because it really was telling me, hey man, people really watching what you're doing. People see that, it could be a good look, it could be a bad look, but people watching what you're doing, man. It's like one of my neighbors from Virginia. He said he's a little bit older than me. And he said he just sit in his crib all day, but his apartment, his window faces everything that you see right here. So he see everybody walking by and all that and what I got going on. One day he said, he always called me Philly. But yeah, he said, say Philly. He said, man, you be having me going on down here, man. Shit, I'm gonna come fuck with you, man. But my old lady, you know what I'm saying, this, that, and other. I said, man, just know when you come down here and fuck with me, man, she don't gotta worry about nothing. But yeah, he was letting me know too. Like, he was congratulating what I do. And opposed to what the other niggas was congratulating me too, but just in another way. You know what I'm saying? Like on the safe side. So, but yeah, them and I know one thing as well. I know the niggas are just as cautious about their girls coming over here just as much as they girls more cautious about them coming over here. I ain't gonna even lie. They worried about their girls or they women wanting to come around here and hang out because I be doing it more than, they are curious about them, I bet, on some real shit. Just think about this. they think they wives are worried about them coming over here and females be over here. Shit, they might be worried about their wives being over here. Or whoever they are, wives, girlfriends, whatever. Nah, man, I'm glad I'm back working, man. I'm finna silence this shit back down. Like, y'all be kind of quiet around here. Like, when I had company, you really never knew. Or because they'll be quiet sitting over here in the recliner while I'm doing my show. Or sometimes every now and then one of them will peep their head in. But I never had this much action and traffic coming to my apartment until I was on work leave for a minute, you know. But it showed me what I like it. It was fun while it lasted though, but it showed me that ain't what I like. I told my homeboy the other day, I said, I'm glad I'm back working, man. Cause it got to a point where motherfuckers just coming around here, just, you know, not even calling you know what I'm saying? They wouldn't even call, they just, everybody knocking on your door, like, who the fuck is here right here? What the fuck? And I don't want to be that accessible. Call me, man, because somebody might be around here. You know, it might be a lady, you know, who I don't want you to see, or I don't want her to see you. What to do, fam, bro? We were talking about the Nolan Wells case. We kind of got out the line. We kind of got away from that, really. I don't think this the channel. I don't think my audience like this. You know, maybe it's the wrong time, but the audience really don't like this type of topic, I guess. Lisa said, what about all the accomplishments? My bad. Damn, Damian Phillips got. Yeah, Lisa, I still want to know what happened because it's somebody to blame for this. And that's why I'm more curious about what happened because there is somebody that had to take the blame for this. And me just knowing who's behind it will kind of like make, I feel better about the situation if I find out what it was and what's the backstory. Opposed to them just letting this shit go like they let anything else go. Just let me know who did it, man. And whether he did it or they did it, let me know. I just want to know. It will. I just hate for it to be one of those, you know, something that's revealed 20 years from now. That shit need to be revealed soon. It's been what 3-4 years since the chick in Cabo, Mexico, got beat up and left for dead. Then like they let that shit go. The woman that passed, the woman what's her? Let me put it up right quick. Tamala Harson. Same situation with Tamala. Tamala, same situation. Went to a sleepover with some women she don't know that she just met, and all of a sudden she dead. And nobody know. Right here, Tamala and Horsford. That's who it was. Let me see what they got right here. Let's see what they got right here.
can't go out together anymore, really, unless you get a babysitter who's willing to stay.
Call the police.
2 a.m.
They don't really have any news about it. It's just a couple of podcasts that's talking about the
Keep it as
situation.
an investigator. I'm sitting here.
But no, but anyway, yeah, this shit took place before, man. Karma does. It does. My name is Caden. Well, check this out, guys. I'm about to close up the live. I gotta get my shit together, man, so I can get ready to go to work. Get myself a little line up, trim my, line my beard up and my head up, get ready for work, you know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna tap in with you guys a little later, man. This is really probably one of the topics I want. This might be a throwaway show right here. We'll see. I might throw away this show right here though. I don't want to fuck up the algorithm, But I'm your boy Cuddy J, broadcasting live out of Dallas, Texas. It's the Kickback Network. Moderators Tammy, 85 Cut, Fambo, Lisa Montre, all you guys that tapped in today. I appreciate you guys showing love. I'm not finna sit. This one of those. This live right here, one of those weak ones. Anyway, but hey, we got a chance to talk. Tammy, once again, I appreciate all the donations that you always giving. And I catch you guys on the flip side. I'm out like a fat kid in dodgeball. I'm out at y'all. Appreciate that, Fambo.